year, but end of the decade as well. And one such company is InfoEdge, the first internet company to list on the Indian bourses way back in 2006, and has since given a return of 57 times with 2 bonus issues. Hitesh Oberoi, the MD and CEO of InfoEdge, joins us now to talk about the way forward, as well as what this disruption in technology could bring about for many companies like his own. Hitesh, thanks so much for joining us. We generally always talk about the here and the now, but I want to look a little ahead into the future. Where do you see InfoEdge as a company 2 to 3 years from now? You've invested into several businesses. Some have done well, some have done exceptionally well, but what do you see as the future?
Well, 3 years from now, and this is what we've been saying for a while, we have a 3-pronged strategy. One, of course, is our core operating businesses. So like Naukri, 99acres, Jeevan Sathi, we will continue to invest more and more in these verticals. These are very large verticals. These are life events in the lives of, 1 billion Indians. And we think these will be growth verticals for a very, very long time. And we intend to do more in these areas going forward. The fourth one, of course, which is a small one inside the company, is education. And we are still getting our act together, but that also is a growth vertical. And, we will, so these are the 4 things we will continue to do, and we'll invest more and more inside the company. One. Second, we are looking to invest more in adjacent areas to the verticals we already operate in, with the intention of owning more and more of these sort of companies and businesses over time. We've already made a few investments in education, real estate, and in the HR services space. We intend to do more of these going forward. And thirdly, for the last almost a decade now, we've been investing in a bunch of startups outside. We have a portfolio approach there. We've invested in maybe over 20 companies till now. That will also continue. Some of these companies will hopefully go on to become winners, like Zomato and Policy Bazaar.
Okay, yes, sir. Good morning, Hitesh. Thank you very much for joining us. Recently, Zomato, I don't know, was it sometime last week, they made a statement saying that, they've seen some seminal improvement in demand. Can you add a little more color what's happening there, people wanting to eat out?
Well, I think what's happening globally, in fact, is that because fine dining has been impacted by the pandemic, more and more people are ordering in. So in the beginning, of course, nobody knew what was going to happen. COVID was upon us suddenly. There was a lockdown, and the entire supply chain got disrupted. But slowly and steadily, demand for ordering in has been coming back, right? And people, because they can no longer afford, even if they want to, they can't go out because many of the fine dining places are shut. It's not safe, and so on and so forth. Have been ordering in more and more. And number one. Number two, because they're ordering in, and many of the people who are sort of spending on fine dining were spending a lot more money when they were going out and spending on fine dining. The order sizes are going up. So when people are ordering in now, they're ordering from better restaurants. The order sizes are higher. So that's improved the profitability of every order also. And thirdly, the food delivery companies have been very rational about the way they've been running their business. It started with COVID because they didn't know what was going to come next, but they've stuck to it.
Okay. So when are you listing it? Sometime soon?
No idea. The company, of course, is doing well. There's a lot of investor interest. They've raised a lot of capital. They have an aggressive growth plan. And they want to list at some point in time in the near future. But fingers crossed on that one.
There was a newspaper report saying by June, Zomato, and by September 21, Policy Bazaar.
Who's saying this? You saying?
Some news reports we read. So we're asking you. We didn't report.
But it takes a long time. There is an intention to sort of list and reward shareholders who've been with the company, investors who've been with the company these companies for a long time. But the listing process takes its own sweet time. So let's see how it plays out.
See, these are your winners, and I will come back to your big winner, Naukri, in a minute. But many of your new investments are in places where you don't really have a moat, where there are very big challengers. For instance, Shop Kirana, there's JioMart. For Adda 24/7, there's Byju's. Big competitors. Happily Unmarried is Nykaa. So, do you think the past is any guidepost for the future, or are the future listings going to be a little tougher?
Well, it's not easy to produce winners every now and then. But when you invest outside, what the view you take is that you're investing in a portfolio of businesses. And if you continue to sort of make the right choices, and if you back your winners, and you double down and triple down on them, hopefully in the long run, some of them will emerge as very, very big companies. In the last 10 years, like I said, we must have invested in about 15, 18, 20 companies. We've got two serious, very big winners. There are a bunch of others who are doing well, but there are two who hit the ball out of the park. We are hoping the same will happen going forward. This is the VC approach to investing. This is the portfolio approach to investing. We will invest in a bunch of companies, the ones who do well. We will double down, triple down on them. Yes, there will be competition. There's no running away from competition. There's a lot of competition today. There's a lot of capital which is available today. But some of the entrepreneurs we are backing are also top dog entrepreneurs, right? So we're hopeful that they will execute well and win in the long run.
Okay. I wanted to ask you, what is your view on technology-driven startups over the next, say, 1 to 2 years? I mean, just talking a little more about your possible acquisitions, where do you see the big opportunities come in? Because so much has erupted in the last 6 to 12 months, influencer-driven marketing. There are startups in the area of fintech. Where do you see the bigger opportunities come through now?
I think everywhere. So it's only a matter of time before some of these companies become very, very large. If India does end up becoming a $5 trillion or a $10 trillion economy, whether it's 5 years from now or 10 years from now, the truth is that there will be a couple of hundred sort of unicorns out there, right? As and when that happens. Today, maybe we have about 20 or 30 of them, which are sort of established, or, where people sort of know about them. It's only a matter of time before this space explodes. And there'll be opportunities everywhere. There are opportunities in edtech, there are opportunities in fintech, there are opportunities in health tech, there are opportunities in retail tech, there are opportunities in advertising tech, marketing tech. Because as the market grows, more companies will get created, and the winners of the future will be digital first companies. And that's our strong belief.
Mm-hmm. Hitesh, how's Naukri doing? There was one guy who came on the channel and said, whether I like their interface or not, I have to advertise in Naukri because most of the people who want jobs are looking there. So they are in a virtuous cycle, is what he said. Anyway, how is business?
Well, business was hit very badly, in the month of April, May, and June. As we all know, both real estate and the Naukri business were impacted. It was like a tsunami which hit us. Revenues were down, collections were down 50%, 60%. But since then, we've seen a very strong recovery in in both jobs and real estate. Last quarter, we were almost sort of back to normal. We were about 20% below normal. This quarter, we are hoping to get close to normal or close to base, at least in Naukri and also in real estate. Let's see how the last 15 days play out. The truth is that both real estate and jobs are badly hit. So while, of course, the pandemic has been great for tech companies, certain categories were more impacted than others, and jobs and real estate took the brunt of it. But these are cyclical businesses. What we're already seeing is a rise in attrition rates across companies across the board. And it's only a matter of time before the Naukri business bounces back very strongly. Also, Naukri's index to GDP growth. Now, this year, for the first time in our history, we've seen mayhem, in terms of economic activity, -7, -8, whichever number you want to go with is what we will end up with. If next year, on the other hand, we get 7, 8, 10% sort of positive GDP growth, then that will have a kicker effect on our business in Naukri.
But have you at least seen things troughing out, or do you think it could be a couple of quarters before it troughs out in Naukri?
Actually, all our metrics are very, very positive now. Our job seeker traffic is going through the roof. Registrations, modifications, activity on the platform, everything is at an all-time high in Naukri on the job seeker side. On the recruiter side, also in certain sectors, we are already seeing growth, right? Sectors like IT, sectors like, IT-enabled services, sectors like banking, finance, insurance. Some of these sectors are very, very strong right now. Attrition rates are going up. Companies are hiring. Companies have very aggressive plans. Digital companies are hiring. Certain sectors have been very badly impacted, and it will be a while before those sectors come back. We all know which those sectors are, and maybe they are about 5-10% of the economy. So those sectors, it could be a while, it could be a year or year and a half for all you know before they bounce back.
Okay, well, let me wind up by asking you this kind of coffee with Hitesh kind of question. What is your best decision of the decade, and what was a bad decision of the decade?
Of the decade.
Okay. All right, 2020 if you wish.
2020, okay. No, I think the good thing we've done over the last few years, if you ask me, and it's not one decision, I think
it's rapid fire.
Good decision of the last decade, investing in people.
Okay.
Investing behind the right people, whether inside or outside the company. We've done a good job of that, I think. And in our space, it's more about people, because if you invest in the right people, they sort of produce outstanding results over a period of time.
Got it.
We backed our winners, whether inside or outside the company.
I'm waiting for the bad decision.
Bad decision, maybe we should have been even more aggressive.
All right. Oh, that's good. Good to hear that. Thank you very much, Hitesh. And in your case, we should wish not just a great 2021, but a great decade ahead.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so that's Hitesh Oberoi of Info Edge. Although we are actually looking at these people as 10-year or 5-year winners, let's just look at the financials over the last few years. First, start off with revenue, and then you will have EBITDA margin and profit after tax also coming up. It's up in a way. That's okay. EBITDA margin has been a bit under pressure last year, and now you'll have the profit after tax.
On the other side of the break, we have another big wealth creator lined up for you.